Good evening and welcome to the September 2021 edition of Curriculum Connection. I'm Medford's Curriculum Director, Laura Lundy. Tonight we will focus in on our science pilot and how the curriculum adoption cycle works here in Medford. The Medford School District uses a 7-year curriculum cycle, which means that a different curriculum is up for adoption each year. This year, it is science, agriculture, and health. The last time these areas adopted new materials was 2015. A lot can change over 7 years, especially with technology. High school science teacher Tron Brooks explains how the new textbook differs from the one adopted 7 years ago.
This one has, I call it AI, artificial intelligence, where as the kids go through it, it actually kind of looks at how they've been answering, and it'll kind of understand whether they think they have the concepts or not. If they don't, they'll kind of explore it a little further, few more questions. So sometimes kids will struggle because, it's taking me so long, but we're trying to get them to master the concept, whereas other kids are going through it quickly because they're already mastering the concept.
Adopting a textbook is just one component of the curriculum cycle. During the 7-year process, Medford reviews each content's standards. In the area of science, for example, Medford uses a combination of the Next Generation Science and ACT standards. The curriculum team then selects materials, usually a textbook with an online component, to help teach those standards.
The biggest thing that we select materials off is the content and the standards. I like to stay with the same content throughout so that we aren't trying to revamp everything. And then the national standards, for us is the Next Generation Science standards. So we try to take a look at, does that match what we're doing? And this program matches it better, I believe, than the other one.
However, it is almost impossible to completely cover standards with only one resource. Therefore, teachers also have the leeway to use other resources.
I'm one source of information, the textbook is another. We bring in other outside sources, sometimes current readings, current events, and things like that. And then I also use websites. For example, I use Physics Classroom. It's a website. Sometimes for the lower level, I'll use a Science Spot, and that kind of helps, clarifies, goes through some reading, goes through some videos, things like that.
One commonly misunderstood area of curriculum adoption is that the state or the federal government forces districts to use a specific set of standards or textbooks. This is not true in our state. According to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, or DPI website, in Wisconsin, all state standards serve as a model. Locally elected school boards adopt academic standards in each subject area to best serve their local community. DPI's website also states that adoption of instructional materials is left up to local districts. As a local control state, districts and schools in Wisconsin make important decisions regarding instructional materials. One area that can be confusing is when the U.S. Department of Education offers funding through discretionary or competitive grants. One example of this was the 2009 Race to the Top grant. As part of this competitive grant, states were encouraged to adopt a set of rigorous standards, which Wisconsin did. However, because we are a local control state, districts could choose to adopt the state standards or use a different set. In summary, best practice recommends that teachers use standards as a basis for their instruction. And in Wisconsin, the adoption of standards, along with the materials that are used to teach them, are left up to local districts. Therefore, in the end, if we don't like something in the area of curriculum and instruction, we can change it. For Curriculum Connection, I'm Laura Lundy.